Hello, good evening, and welcome to Real Estate with Bimpe. My name is Adebimpe Arinola. I'm the real estate consultant who is here with you every Tuesday and every Saturday, where we discuss everything real estate. This week is dedicated, I'm sure you know that this week is dedicated to the celebration of women. It is called International Women's Week. Although it's actually International Women's Day, but the whole week has been dedicated to women. How many of you love being women? I love being a woman. There's nothing wrong with men, but I just don't want to be a man. I love to be a woman. However, the World Health Organization says that we need to break the bias. But I say we need to bias the bias. Here is what I'm saying. Here is what I mean. Now, the world had typified women in certain professions, in certain functions, in certain spaces from years gone by. Even though if you look through generations past, you will always find one or two women who were exceptions to the general norm, but most women fell into certain categories. But the category of exceptions, the category of women who did exceptional things, is beginning to expand as we get closer to the end of the age. More women are more daring. More women are getting into the engineering, technology, scientific, and mathematics courses. They are more interested, they are more excited about the STEM subjects, about the STEM courses. Furthermore, jobs that people thought were physically tasking, you find more women doing them. You find more women driving commercial vehicles all over the country, even in different parts of the world. You find also women doing certain jobs that were reserved for men in the real estate sector. There are structural engineers that are women, there are architects that are women and that are practicing. There are lawyers that are women, there are surveyors that are women. Of course, you get into the class and you may find in a class of about 50, maybe you find 10 or 12 women. But it's different from the way it was many years back, where you find only one woman in the maths and statistics or in the actuarial science classes. There are more women in these functions these days. But the bias is still there. Can she cope? The way we are treated, the kind of things we're exposed to. Yes, there are certain factors that have accounted for this. Entrepreneurs and business people will tell you a man is a better negotiator than a woman. A woman is more compassionate in her negotiation. A man does not care about compassion. He cares about what is in it for him. Women are learning to take their place in the corner offices. And so I say to the women in real estate that it's time to bias the bias. Let me tell you a story. I did a transaction for a client over a year ago now. When we got into the transaction, I've never met this client. I've never met this client, even as we speak. And we started the transaction and he requested for some things. We started the property that he wanted us to work on. We worked on the first one. He sent us to another one. We worked on it. He sent us to negotiate one with the buyer. By the time the transaction was literally over, the man that was selling, he had to tell me, and his agent too confirmed, that the reason why he agreed to sell at that price was because he was dealing with a woman. That ordinarily value of property in that area had increased and he was going to increase his price, but because the person negotiating was a woman, which means that he did not expect a woman to do that well. He did not expect a woman to go that far. He did not expect a woman to deliver so much. Of course, it worked out well. It turned out good. It turned out in the interest of the client in that scenario, but it doesn't always work like that. The more likely trend is that the woman will not get the job because they feel she can't deliver, because they feel she's going to be bogged down by family and emotional concerns and she will not be able to deliver on her tasks. But those things are changing. There are women in tech, there are women in engineering, there are women in all of these other fields that were supposedly reserved for men. There are women in politics, there are women presidents today. And so I say it is time to begin to step into your place, whatever it is that you consider an interest, whatever it is that you consider a passion. Bias the bias in that sector. I hope you know there are women that are property developers. Yes, they have their own property companies and they develop, and you must know that there's a lot that goes into running a property development company. As a matter of fact, the person in charge of Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Body is a woman. So there are a lot of women in this space. I encourage more women to come in. I encourage the women that are in this space to maximize the opportunities that come their way. I encourage women that are in this space to not be the ones that will compromise because of what they stand to benefit. I encourage the women in this space to not be the ones who will sell themselves cheap. There are prices for transactions. Charge standard, charge well, and do a good job. I encourage women to do good jobs and not deliver shoddy services because they are women. There's no excuse that is acceptable for failure. Failure is simply failure. I encourage women in this space to take up the jobs that they have been given with all their might and to deliver it so that they bias the bias. So that when it comes to you, that bias about the women is biased in your favor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's bias that bias in our favor. I'm a lawyer. I need the bias to be biased in my favor. You say, oh, we are talking about women, but when you are talking about women who are real estate consultants, no, she's different because of what I've delivered. We are talking about women. One of the most fantastic quantity surveyors that I have ever worked with is a woman. So thorough, very thorough. She's a woman. There are many women in this space. We should take up our bit. And when you see the women on the field, when you see them walking on the field, they don't sit down every 10 minutes. They don't get tired. When you see them negotiating, they negotiate hard and tough. They don't negotiate that way because they don't want to be cheated. They negotiate that way because that's the way the job should be done. At the end of the day, whatever that bias is biased in your favor. Whatever the bias that was standing in your way in that conversation, by the time you have delivered on your tasks, that bias is biased in your favor. The small opportunity you get to deliver, over deliver, so that you expand and you open up your chances and your choices. The little you are given to do in any space, in any sphere that you are, under promise, over deliver, so your opportunities expand, so your recommendations increase, so your social proof also goes over the roof. That is how we're going to be able to bias the bias, one at a time. It's one thing for the world to have a collective voice in our favor. It's another thing for us to individually deliver what that voice says about us. If we are saying that women should be given the opportunity, women should be given the chance, then when we get there, we should deliver on the opportunities, we should deliver on the chance, we should stand out so that there will be no basis for not giving us better opportunities in times to come, because it's not going to be thrown in our laps just because we are women. That is not going to guarantee that we will deliver. We must be prepared with the requisite skill, requisite experience, requisite connections to excel in whatever that field is. And this evening, I'm talking to women in real estate. There are women who are estate agents. There are women who are estate managers. They are hard workers. They don't complain. They don't even identify that, oh, this is done to me because I am a woman. They bias that bias. They leave that perspective with you. When they deliver to you, you will be biased in their favor. Those are the women that I hope are emerging out of this tagline that we should break the bias. Those are the women that I hope this generation is going to experience a few years down the line. Yes, we may have been bruised, we may have been battered, we may have suffered a lot of things. However, we can rise above. It may be difficult, but it is possible. I will rise above for myself and for the generation of women who are coming. You should rise above for yourself and for the generation of women that are coming. Let me sound a note of warning. We are not rising because we want to compete. We are rising because we want to complement. We are not rising because we want to overshadow. We are rising because we want to shine forth. We are not rising because we want to outshine. We are rising because we want to shine with. So it is about bringing our input to bear. It is not about taking over from anybody, because there's no single gender that can deliver alone. We deliver collectively what is given to mankind to deliver on the face of the earth. So as I round up in this brief video today, I want to say kudos to the women who are excelling in the real estate sector. I want to appreciate everything you are doing. For every one of you who achieves anything out there, you are a beacon of hope. You speak the language to the rest of us that it is all possible as long as we all stay there. One, you represents all of us because you create a footpath that we can modify, diversify, improve upon to be whoever we desire to be in our world and in this industry. The real estate sector in Nigeria is just beginning to see its better days because the women are just beginning to take their place. Once again, congratulations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe so that our channel can grow, and we will appreciate it if you like the video and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video goes live. You can also share with other women, or the men can share with their sisters, their wives, their mothers, their in-laws, their friends and their daughters, because this week it's about us. Thank you and bye-bye.